Hello, Internet. This video is to address a nasty and pernicious rumor about me, namely involving the removal of one of my interview live streams from my channel. The rumor is that I was served some sort of legal threat or lawsuit, and that in response, I capitulated by removing the interview from the internet. I am here to set the record straight on this silly and absurd rumor. Stick with me. I'm Nick Recaita of Recaita Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota. I'm a lawyer. I'm also a legal and political commentator on YouTube and on Odyssey. Wherever you're watching, hit like, hit subscribe, turn on your notifications, all that good stuff. I wouldn't want you to miss any videos. Okay. This is in response to the Sophie Long case, and in particular, my interview with Michael Long, which was a 5.5 hour long live stream where Michael Long was able to tell his side of the story. Now, importantly, I do not make any particular declarations about who is correct in this case. I am here to get information out to people and let them decide. Michael Long chose to engage in an interview with me and say his side of the story. You can choose to believe him or not to believe him. That's up to you. I particularly don't care what you choose. My job is not to pick the sides in this case or in this story. That being said, there is one side of this case who wants to talk about it and who wants to have it out in the open, and another side of this case who doesn't. And that would be Kelly Long, Michael Long's ex-wife and Sophie Long's mother. Kelly Long has been on a crusade since this started to remove any sort of discussion or commentary about this from the internet. And the reason is because when this video of Sophie Long went viral last year, the video of her screaming that she did not want to be returned to Kelly Long because of allegations of harm caused by Kelly Long and in particular her boyfriend, Jacob Bellington, who is also accused of harming Sophie Long. Because of those allegations and the reaction of Sophie Long, the public was very quickly on Michael's side. Kelly obviously did not want that and still does not want that reaction. But as long as those videos are seen by people and as long as discussion is allowed to freely take place about the case, Kelly Long has been on the losing side of not only the public battle, but the court battle as well. Once the court implemented a gag order after some shenanigans, we'll say, some tomfoolery in the courts, once a gag order was in place, things started to go Kelly's way, and she has liked that sort of result from the court. It's interesting to note that when judges were subjected to public critical commentary, they got very, very angry and defensive and decided to abuse their powers, in my opinion, to try and suppress a matter of public concern from the public itself using the gag order. And Kelly and her lawyers have been all too happy to engage in this. So that's the background. Now, getting into the alleged threat. I have been threatened by Laura Elkind, that is Kelly Long's attorney, one time, and that has been addressed in a video I did earlier. The culmination of that video was a little bit charming, if I do say so myself, and that video will be linked at the end of this video. It'll be linked in the description, and it'll be linked in a little card up here. You can click on any of them to go ahead and watch it if you have not. I have not received a subsequent communication from Kelly Long or any representative of Kelly Long, and any subsequent communication I received from Laura Elkind or any other party representing Kelly Long would be responded to with the same level of jovial ferocity. I don't take kindly to threats. I will not be told what to do, and I will not let some two-bit strip mall lawyer Wait, that's me. I will not let some 20-year family law attorney masquerading as an expert on free speech attempt to bully me into silence. That will not happen. I don't capitulate to those types of threats. What did happen was a pernicious use of YouTube's privacy system. YouTube's privacy takedown system is a readily and rampantly abusable system that allows people to attack YouTube creators, and YouTube will often comply even if the demands are wholly false, incorrect, and averse to ongoing law. And we'll talk about that in a second. But let me show you the proof, because receipts are critical in any time you're trying to set the record straight, and I actually have them. As you can see here, this is my email from YouTube, which says, "Hi, Retraction Law. We have received a privacy complaint regarding the following video. Upon our analysis of the claim, we have removed the content in question. Sophie Long's father, Michael Long, speaks. Live interview, #Sophie Long. If you believe that your content was removed in error, you can let us know within 30 days of this notice. You can submit the form only once per video URL. Please review our Help Center article on privacy. Sincerely, YouTube Legal Support Team." So with that said, I have filed my counter complaint to it, although I know that YouTube will not work in favor of its creators. In fact, YouTube will instead, despite all of the law in this instance being on the side of not only YouTube, but also me, they will still capitulate to the privacy request. As such, I will be re-uploading the video to my locals page in its entirety, although it will be broken up into chunks about, I think I have to make them an hour long or shorter. 5.5 hours of straight video on locals doesn't quite work yet, but hopefully soon. You can find that at retraction.locals.com once I get it loaded up. I will also be re-uploading the video on YouTube with retouched edits to go ahead and deal with the alleged privacy concerns, but I will show where the edits are. They will be very, very obvious. And again, the fully unedited version will be up on locals. Now, in my appeal to YouTube, I did go ahead and inform them of the relevant law on this issue and why YouTube should ignore it. First of all, this is clearly a Section 230 claim for YouTube. YouTube cannot be held responsible for material that I put up that does not violate its terms of service. This material did not and does not violate YouTube's terms of service. In fact, the video was reviewed and monetized. There is not a terms of service violation present in the video. Now, they may try to weasel out and suggest that a privacy violation is a terms of service violation. However, I can assure you that there is no privacy violation here. As I stated to Laura Elkind, Texas law on invasion of privacy is very clear. There is a matter of public concern in this case. This case has been covered nationally, locally, internationally, globally. It has been covered on traditional media. It has been covered on social media and new media. It has been commented on by government officials, starting from police officers all the way up to the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott. It has been commented on by millions of people around the world. It has been viewed the issue in general has been viewed multiple millions of times, and the allegations of abuse that are grave enough to involve the court and severe public inquiry are definitely within a matter of public interest or public concern. Texas law is very clear that there is not an invasion of privacy here so long as it relates to those matters of public concern. So when you combine Texas invasion of privacy law, something that Laura Elkind has, I will humbly say, misrepresented in her emails to me, to Spectre, and to Ken Jennings, when you combine that with Section 230 and YouTube's liability immunity from these sorts of issues, there is no reason for them to remove the video. However, again, YouTube is not the best platform at actually supporting its creators when it comes to matters like this, and I believe they will take the most conservative approach. So I wanted to do that. I wanted to address that And I wanted to be very clear on that. I stand by everything stated in the video. I stand by every comment I have made about this case. There is nary a lie or misrepresentation in it. That is how this goes. And I will not capitulate to legal threats to remove videos. You will know very publicly what happens if any legal threats come in, because that is how I deal with them, and that is the way they should be dealt with. Truth survives in the light, and truth dies in the darkness. One side of this case has wanted to delve into the darkness the entire time, and you can determine why that is. I know why I believe that Kelly Long wants to operate in the darkness, and why her lawyers want to operate in the darkness, and why, even though she's allegedly, oh, I forgot to mention this is also in my counterclaim to YouTube. Kelly Long has hired a public relations firm to manage the public aspect of this case. That is how public this case is and how non-private it is as well. Kelly Long and her attorneys are engaged in malicious misrepresentation of facts and law on this case in a ongoing basis, and they do so for the purpose of threatening, bullying, and controlling people who want to have public discussions about a public matter. And they misrepresent their interest in the privacy interests of Sophie Long, which should be handled by opposing counsel, the amicus attorney for Sophie Long, although that hasn't looked like an opposing counsel relationship for a long time, has it? That being said, I want to point people to one other person on the internet who was originally talking about this case and has since stopped. This is 10 to Life. Annie at 10 to Life has made a statement about some of her claims that she made early on in coverage and has addressed why she is no longer covering this case. And I wanted to take a look at it with you. Let's see. I've cut to the part in the video where she is actually talking about it. It's very short. Bear with me 1 second. I should have set this up better, but apparently did not. Okay, here we go.
While I can't go into specifics as to why I haven't spoke out, I do want to come on here and set the record straight today. As I mentioned, I posted several videos and live streams back in 2020 on the Sophie Long matter. In December of 2020, I chose to step away entirely from the case, and additionally, I voluntarily removed all videos and publications related to this case as of January 31st, 2021. Based on my coverage of the Sophie Long case and my communications with individuals very closely involved, and a result of recent developments as well, I cannot now vouch for the truth in a few of the statements that I made, and I want to make that clear. These statements include that Kelly Long, Sophie Long's mother, permitted, facilitated, or allowed her daughter, Sophie Long, to be sexually abused by anyone. Also, that Kelly Long neglected her children in any way, put them in danger, or harmed them in any way, including emotionally, physically, or psychologically. That Kelly Long threatened to harm her daughter in any way. That Kelly Long has or had any drug addiction, did drugs around her children, or allowed her son to consume illicit drugs. I want to formally retract these statements, as I can now not vouch for their veracity. In one of my videos, I also stated that Kelly Long was arrested, and I can confirm that statement is false. Neither Kelly Long nor her boyfriend, Jacob Bellington, have been arrested or charged in connection with allegations made in this case. I sincerely and deeply apologize to both Kelly Long and Jacob Bellington for any harm that they may have suffered from these statements. I appreciate you guys taking the time to listen with me today, guys, and I will keep you updated on other true crime cases.
Okay, that's enough of that video. If you can't see the AK-47 pointed directly at her off screen, I don't know what you can see anymore in this world. That will not be me. So that is not how I do things, like I said, and that is not a criticism, by the way, of 10 to Life or anything like that. She seems like a very, very nice and genuine person. As for me, I do not respond kindly to threats, and in no way has that happened here other than how it's been addressed on the channel. So if it does, though, we'll be in for a fireworks display. As back to last things I should say, the final thoughts here on Kelly Long, on Jacob Bellington, on Laura Elkind, on David Routson, all of these people, and Red Banyan, who are involved on Kelly's side of this. I don't know if any of them are guilty of the allegations that have been made about, in this case. I simply report on what is going on and offer legal explanation where possible. What I do know is that every single one of you who has attempted to silence me or who has threatened me, fuck you, again, with respect. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.